Hey, what's up everybody? Chad here, and welcome to the home of the Money Minute. Now we're going to continue with our benefits for the Amex Platinum card. And before we continue, please let's make sure we like, share, subscribe, and the thing I actually enjoy a lot, feel free to leave your comments, any experiences that you may have. I've been pretty good at getting back with my commenters, and I really enjoy interacting with everybody watching. So now this video is going to be about the Fine Hotels and Resorts $200 prepaid credit that the Platinum card offers. You'll hear it abbreviated as FHR. I've used it before, and it's a $200 credit that, can go a ways to offset the $695 annual fee of the Amex Platinum. As far as the nuts and bolts are concerned, the credit is a $200 credit that will be applied to your card for a prepaid hotel stay booked through the Amex travel portal. Now, in the Amex travel portal, you have the FHR, which is Fine Hotels and Resorts, and the hotel collection. We're going to leave the hotel collection for another video, but right now we're just focusing on the Fine Hotels and Resorts. And it obviously, as the name suggests, includes a lot of 5-star and very posh, very boutique, very curated properties offered by, brands that we all know like Hilton, Marriott. There are places in Vegas that are on there as well. But the whole point is that it is as it's advertised, Fine Hotels and Resorts. Okay, so first things first, here's how you get the credit. You don't have to enroll like other benefits that are on the card, but what you do need to do, the very, 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 very important part of what it is that you need to do is that when you book your stay, you need to book it as a prepaid stay. Now, a lot of times people will pay a deposit and then pay the remainder when they get to the location. They'll pay the deposit to hold the room. You cannot do this here. If you want the credit, you have to pay in full on your card in order to receive the credit. Do not pay with points. Do not pay a partial payment. You will see that when you do your booking on the Amex travel portal. This benefit is available for Amex Platinum business card holders, Amex Platinum holders, Amex Centurion holders, and of course, Amex Centurion business card holders. Honestly, let's keep it real. The FHR through Amex travel portal isn't always the cheapest. I'm not gonna lie to you. There's no reason for me to do so. But once again, these are curated properties that are picked specifically and do operate in concert with American Express. And when you arrive there, it is known that you are someone who has taken advantage of that program, and you get certain benefits that other people may not get who didn't book through that program. And I'm gonna go ahead and list them here for you. These are things that you're going to get, period. This is uniform. And then the hotels can actually offer extras on top of that should they choose to. And in some cases they do. Also, you'll notice that with the FHR program, when you go on the homepage and you start looking through properties, there are actually deals where through the FHR, if you book X amount of nights at a certain hotel, they may actually throw in a night free. They have plenty of benefits that they will offer their Amex members who book through the FHR program. But let's go ahead and list some of the things that are going to come with standard your FHR booking. The first benefit is going to be a room upgrade. Now, the hotels reserve some right to block off certain rooms, and in some cases, an upgrade may be a better view. But the fact of the matter is that when you check in as an FHR participant, as an Amex card holder, number one, the hotel will recognize you. And the reason I can say this, because I can speak from experience, because I've used the program. First of all, they recognize you. They have a protocol on how to handle you. And at check-in, of course, based on availability, an upgrade will be available for you. That is a given. It's gonna happen. Take it from me. Now, in my personal situation, did I get upgraded at the check-in? No, because of availability. The very next day, though, my room was actually upgraded, where they actually set and looked for a checkout the next day. I was actually moved from one room to the next with a better view. Now, the hotel that I stayed at was the Bellagio in Vegas that I booked through the FHR portal, and it was amazing. At first, I had a city view, which was fine. I could see the back of the hotel and I could see the Las Vegas landscape. But where I ended up, and I actually took a video of the show, I had a fountain view room. I was on the 15th floor, and every night I could watch the water show from one of the best seats in the house through a large panoramic window. And I'll go ahead and link that video here. The next benefit that you're gonna find is that you'll get daily breakfast for two regardless of the length of your stay. Now, just in case I didn't mention this before, and I'll probably end up mentioning it again, with the FHR, there is no minimum stay. Unlike the hotel collection where there's a minimum 2-night stay, you can actually just stay one night if you need to, and you can still take advantage of the FHR credit. Now, that FHR credit will guarantee you breakfast. In some cases, some hotels you go to, even much lower tier hotels, you need status in order to get breakfast or else you have to pay for it. This comes with breakfast, and when you're staying at some of these boutique properties, you may end up getting breakfast that, could be a Michelin star breakfast, could be some of the fanciest breakfasts in town. Sometimes I've seen people come to hotels to have breakfast who are not even staying there because it's that good. The next benefit is that you get early check-in, noon check-in, and guaranteed, not optional, but guaranteed 4 p.m. checkout. Now, we all know normally you check out of a hotel around 11 o'clock in the morning. If you're lucky, you call them, they give you the runaround and say, oh, we may be able to extend you until 2 or what have you. No, with the FHR, you don't have to leave until 4. So you actually get another 5 hours that you normally wouldn't have. Maybe you're still enjoying your vacation. Maybe there's a last minute thing you want to see, or just maybe you can book a later flight because you just want to sleep in. Maybe you want to kind of like start decompressing from your vacation before you get on the plane and go home, or you get behind the wheel and start taking that road trip back home. But I can tell you also, once again, from experience, that 4 p.m. checkout is clutch. I mean, don't get me wrong, the early check-in is awesome too, but the 4 p.m. checkout, that's where the goods are. Another benefit you'll have is complimentary Wi-Fi. So then you say to yourself, okay, it's complimentary Wi-Fi, who cares? The fact is that a lot of the times resorts will charge what are called resort fees. It's basically, it's a gimme. I mean, people will tell you that it's a lot of other things. It's a gimme fee. It's gimme money, this is luxury, here's my gimme tax. Now, normally the Wi-Fi will actually be paid through that resort fee. Now, the wonderful thing with the FHR credit is that because you're entitled to Wi-Fi as a participant in the FHR program, if there is a resort fee that is charged to your room that pays for the Wi-Fi, you'll actually be credited in order to offset the cost of that Wi-Fi for the length of your stay. I didn't think it was for real, but I looked at the bill and it's for real. And look, I know you're not really quibbling over a couple of dollars a day, especially if you're staying at a fine hotel and or resort, but I just think, it's that extra touch that really says, okay, we're taking care of you. And it was appreciated. Once again, speaking from experience, the credit was available on my Bellagio bill when I left. And finally, you get an experience credit. At this point, I can't really put my finger on it exactly what it will be because it changes from property to property, but it's still a credit. You want to go to the spa, that might be your experience credit. Mine was, I believe my wife and I got some free drinks from the bar. We ended up using it for that. They gave us a credit, so we basically just drank it because we were in Vegas and we were just trying to have a good time. And we already knew we were getting breakfast, so we just had a couple of drinks, but they'll give you an experience credit somewhere around $100. Sometimes it's worth even more than that. So, I mean, your miles may vary, but it's like a unique thing, a unique thank you for visiting us. And by all means, please tell everyone how wonderful we are credit. And yeah, it's worth it. It is totally worth it. So those are some of the mandatory things that you're going to get by booking through the FHR program in the Amex portal. God, it's a mouthful. I keep having to say it, but it actually is worth it. So now we're going to get into what exactly you should book, because I already mentioned that they don't always have the cheapest prices. Now, I feel that you should book something unique. If you want to have, that aspirational feel, I definitely think you should look for something unique. You should look for something that maybe you wouldn't always go to. Maybe there's a property that has a decor or an architecture that you're not normally known to frequent. I totally feel like that is a great way to use the portal and potentially get a credit. Me personally, my wife and I, we wanted to go to Vegas. We both wanted to stay in the Bellagio. We had never stayed in the Bellagio. It's the world famous hotel. The fountain show you've seen it on TV. We wanted to experience it. And to be honest with you, the Vegas hotels that are listed on the FHR tend to be on the lower end, and your credit actually can stretch further. Now, I mentioned before that sometimes hotels have deals. They may have reduced room rates where your $200 credit, if you stay a night, could cut their rate in half. It has happened. Some people have actually extracted great value from the FHR program. And it doesn't mean that you have to stay at that hotel. You may just want to experience it for a night and then move to another place. That's totally up to you. And that's why it's a free world, because you can do what you want and make it the way you need it to be for you. All right, and closing up. One last question, and this is for my points and miles people. I'm sure you guys are aware, but people who may be new here. When you book through the Amex portal, when you use the FHR program, understand you're not booking directly through the hotel. And most people who are familiar in the points and miles game understand that booking through a portal, any portal, Expedia, Kayak, you tend to forego your elite status. Now, that's not always the case with the FHR. What I would highly suggest anyone do is simply, A, be polite. B, give the hotel a call and ask them if your elite status, should you have elite status, if it's a chain, can that be applied here, or will it conflict with the FHR program? You never quite know what they may say. So for that, we're going to stamp a big maybe on it, because I can tell you, once again, from my experience, what I simply did as an M Life member, I called the Bellagio. And when I called them, I was actually pleasantly surprised to learn that even though I had booked through the FHR program, my elite status with M Life was fully intact, and I also got those benefits on top of my FHR benefits, which included free parking, which included no resort fees. So it is always worth it to call your destination to make sure. And once again, the most important part, be polite. Don't be entitled. Don't be one of those people. Just call them and you'd be surprised who will help you out on the other end of the phone. So now another thing is suppose you do want to gain points by your stay. Once again, refer to my first piece of advice. Be polite, give a call, make sure and see if it can be applied. In some cases, they may apply it. If not, if the hotel that you're staying at has a program that you're not a member of, by all means, that is a great time to sign up and start earning your perks and see if you can get it applied there. Those are from my people who are really trying to maximize their stay and get a return on stay, because we never leave anything on the table. But other than that, I think this is a pretty awesome credit. I think if you are an Amex Platinum holder, if there's any credits that you should not let fall by the wayside for a year, even if you just use it for one night to go out of town, maybe the next city over, maybe somewhere in your city that is a fine hotel and or resort that you've never stayed at, by all means, I thoroughly think that you should take advantage of this. But that's been the FHR $200 prepaid hotel credit. And once again, if you stayed all the way to the end, I thank you so much. Please hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe. We need those thumbs up to get this video in front of people, because maybe people have the card and don't particularly understand. If you have questions, leave them in the comments section. Thank you so much. And I appreciate you guys for being here, and I'll catch you on the next one.